Hey there guys, this is Red Tail Ray coming at you one more time. Thanks for tuning in, and I wanted to show you guys my jackpot find. I've been looking for an ABC watch or an altimeter, altimeter barometer compass watch for a long time, and I've specifically been looking at Suunto's and Garmin's for both just those kind of functions particularly. Yeah, there's a lot of watches out there, and I've never been a huge watch fan. But basically, looking at what you get out of a watch like this is much more of a everyday, day-to-day tool rather than just something to tell you what time it is. And obviously, there is the time indicator, but please feel free if you are looking into this kind of watch. There's a lot of really great in-depth videos on the settings and how to calibrate everything, and I'm not going to go into all that. I just wanted to show you guys how cool this watch is. So let's see if I can get a good reflective angle maybe. It's really weird doing this offset. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's stay up here. So, again, I said this is an ABC watch, so it's got an altimeter and a barometer function as well as a compass function. It's got the time that you can set in either 12-hour or 24-hour military style time. It does have a spinning dial with two, what do they call that? A glow in the dark. There's a fancy name for the glow in the dark indicators. So you can actually set your bearings if you're navigating. And then on the bottom screen here, it actually has a different display where you can change a bunch of things. So they've got the day and the date. You press this bottom button down here. It's got a the second counter counts your minutes. You can follow that either along and the outside of the dial, or you can read that numerically there. It also has a secondary time, so you can set a time in a different time zone if you want, or keep that for some of your other settings when you have something else displayed up with the main display. It also has your sunrise and sunset times, and then it's got a stopwatch if you'd like. And to start that, you barely see that, but the tiny little indicator up on this button, that means you can start and stop the stopwatch with this button when that lights up. And then it also has a countdown timer, so you can set this to whatever time you want. I have it set for 15 minutes for 15-minute breaks at work, so I can just set it, and when my timer goes off, I go back to work. And then it can go blank to save battery. The bottom left-hand button does have a backlight, and you're really not going to be able to see this in this video, of course. Maybe I'll include that in the end or in a different video. And it also has a lock button, so you can actually, let's see if you can see this. You see that little lock that popped up on the top? So you can lock all the buttons in, so you don't accidentally push something. This also can log your altimeter or your barometer settings. If you're going up and down in altitude, if you're doing some trekking or some skiing, snowboarding, whatever, if you're climbing. Built as a complete outdoor watch slash tool. So this button, that was the bottom right hand button. This right hand button in the middle will change, if it's not locked, it will change your main display. It'll give you the heads up. There we go. So right now I have it at the barometer setting because I'm not really doing any kind of altimeter kind of stuff like that. And right now the way you set this is that you find your local weather station or paper, and you set your settings in the settings for your profile or for your preferences, and then it'll go up and down using the sensor on the back side here. So these two little slits actually can read the rises and drops in air pressure, which is really cool. This also helps out with the tiny little arrow up top here. Is a weather trend indicator. for the last 9 hours. So it's got a line and then a dot and then another line, and this will change based on your the past 3 hours, the current 3 hours, and then however that works. I forget. Again, I'm not really great at figuring all this out quite yet. I'm still learning quite a bit. And then it does have a compass on it, so calibrate the compass is super easy. You hold it level and you rotate it clockwise or counterclockwise a few times, and it'll calibrate the compass mode on it. You're supposed to hold it level. Now, one of the things I haven't quite tested quite yet is when you go back to your altimeter barometer setting is the thermometer, which is a really cool feature. Unfortunately, because the sensors are right against your skin when you're wearing the watch, they tell you to take the watch off for a few minutes and let the thermometer calibrate to the actual temperature, like the ambient temperature, not against your skin. So what I'd like to do is, get outside and test based on how cold I know it is against how accurate that is. I haven't really played around too much with that, but that could be a very cool feature as well. Top right button. I forget what the top right button does. Other than probably the settings and stuff, you can go up and down and up and down. I'm not sure if it actually does anything else when you're at the regular main screen. But anyways, this is the Suunto Core all black military style watch. They call it the military style watch because it is the blacked out version of the dial, as well as the blacked out version of the actual the background is blacked out, as you can kind of tell, instead of the gray. And then the black numbers, this is the blacked out, and then the gray letters. So it's really subtle, really low profile. I really like it. I've been looking for one of these for, like I said, a long time. One of the reasons why I never really bit the bullet and got one is because they're so massive. And again, regular watches aren't this big, but this is, like I said, much more of a tool than just a regular watch. So it's got a lot of different things in it. One of the other things that I really did like, as you can see back here, it's got a user replaceable battery instead of bringing it to a watchsmith, I guess, or whoever would, or a jeweler, be able to take your watch apart and replace the battery. You can actually swap the battery out. And I've only had to do that once after I got it, because the battery indicator was pretty low. But the only reason I wanted to share this, and the only reason I got this watch, is I'll show you back here on the box. And it came complete, came basically brand new, for all intents and purposes. For what I could tell, it was purchased in December and then returned, so I'm assuming somebody got it this last Christmas for a gift. And at Cabela's, they had it in the bargain cave for that much. Yep. Normally, this is a $299 watch, and they had it on sale without tax in the bargain cave at Cabela's for $172. So that's why I got this. Otherwise, I would have never got this, and I'm really glad I did. It's actually been very, very interesting and a fun journey figuring out a watch. Not only that, but just instead of ripping open my pocket and searching for my phone every time I wanted to tell the time, I have the time actually on my wrist, so I've kind of turned into a watch guy anyways, kind of like I've never been. But there you go, I just wanted to share that. It was a really cool watch. Check out all the other videos out there if you guys are interested in getting one of these. Keep your eyes open for those awesome deals. Just like, that was almost half off. And I have since found a lot of the same watch, especially now that a lot of the newer cool models are coming out, the ones with the GPS functions and the Ambit and the Ambit 2 and a lot of the Garmin ones that have a lot of the GPS and heart rate monitor stuff. These are coming down in price. I've seen them as low as about $168 on Amazon, but that doesn't include shipping. So I think I got a hell of a deal here, and really, really happy with it. So there you guys go. There's just my quick review overview and why I'm so happy with this wash that I did pick up. And you know, of course, it's just like everything else. The project is only as good as the tools, and some of those tools require very specific, or some of those projects require very specific tools. So just another tool for the tool belt here. Definitely not a, what would you call that? When you buy something when you don't need it. An impulse buy. Definitely not an impulse buy, because like I said, I was looking for one of these, a really great deal for one of these, for at least a year or two, maybe even more. I've been really lucky here in finding this guy. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in again. And if I haven't mentioned it before, I think I have, but check me out on Instagram and Tumblr, and like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.